what are we doing? You know, are we coaching who we're supposed to be coaching? Are we where we're supposed to be?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that. You see impact for me in my future, because I don't always feel that way. And I'm coming out of, several years of just sort of feeling foggy. And, in my season, coaching is something that I've been able to keep going. And I have been grateful for that. It's been a real gift, I think, to be able to keep my hand in something while my kids are young.
Sure.
And but there has been a fog. And I think in some ways I've been a bit passive, kind of receiving the clients that come to me, which isn't a bad thing. But I have had times where I'll finish a session or I'll just kind of think, what am I doing? What is this really the ideal? We're trained to kind of think of our ideal client. Am I in the right place? Am I in the right space? And I'm asking those questions right now, and I'm kind of in a crossroads. And I think that's a normal thing. I mean, what do you think? What's been your experience?
Well, when I think about a fog too, I think what created the fog? And it can be a couple things. I mean, and one thing that has created a fog for me is maybe even being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Being particularly busy, and whatever's in my life, because I have I often make an observation. I just say I can only juggle 3 balls. But probably particularly through my 40s, I was always juggling 8.
Ooh.
Always. I was on a board. I was pastoring a church. I was a dad. I was a husband. I was working, doing some coach training. And I stop and think, and that can create a fog of busyness, because you don't have a lot of choices. It's like there's your life, and that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's one thing that can create a fog. What's another thing that can create a fog?
Well, I just wanted to chime in on that one, because I think that's, you nailed it. I mean, you articulated it. I think we tend to get so busy, and there's so much noise. And, I feel like that's been God's kind of message to me recently, is kind of like, really putting his finger on the fact that I've sort of like, made choices in my coaching, and he's kind of like, am I the one that led you there? And I'm in this space of just trying to get quiet again, and trying to simplify again, and trying to say, God, what is it that you are calling me to do? And that's a very, so I think you're right. We can just get so busy and so caught up in what we're doing that we're not really seeking him for our direction and for, who is it that you do want me to impact through coaching? So that's one. I also think just season that you're in can create fog. I mean, as I said, I've been having kids, and so people listening in, you might be in that kind of season. You're in your kids are young, and you're just trying to stay afloat. You're trying to survive and, kind of do these work things as you go. And so there's this feeling of you're spread thin, and you're trying to just kind of stay afloat. And so that's my season, but there's different seasons. You might be in retirement stage. You might be in, your kids are older, and you're kind of evaluating there, but you just kind of feel like your compass is kind of disoriented for some reason. And so I think just the season that you're in can bring a sense of fog.